summer.
Yeah, except for when your mom was here for a week.
My mom is not coming here for a week. He keeps saying first it was an auntie.
Yeah, it was Aunt Gloria.
Gloria, yeah, who was really close friends with my mom. It's a weird shirt.
Oh yeah, I love
We
this
have to
shirt.
look very.
Do you get the joke? You get the
Yeah,
joke?
I get the joke. Yeah, because I find it like bleeding out.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Bro, I'm gonna take these pants from you. These are so comfortable.
I know, they're so soft, right?
Yeah.
I love those.
That's how you set up your phone. I like your phone case. It's like holographic.
Why don't you get those like?
That's just my actual phone itself. That's uncased.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I
Yeah.
can't see this on it.
Yes! It finally did. Oh, what the heck? The heck is
I
that?
think I gave everybody one, but I don't remember.
Give everybody what?
A bracelet. I mean, like 8, and then
Oh,
they're
you
all.
have everybody's name.
I'm all one away.
Okay.
Big more.
My buddy Denver uploaded the podcast. He's like, "Yeah, I'll edit it this time, and I'll upload for you." And
Who?
episode 3
Oh.
never got posted because
I'm an admin on Facebook.
Okay.
I was just wondering why.
Which group?
PNBC.
Maybe an accident,
Oh. Well,
or maybe Octavia
felt-
gave you privileges
I
that.
felt so honored. No, you said you did.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when?
I don't know. Like,
You could have just accidentally clicked something, you know?
I don't know, but me, you, and Octavia are admins.
Oh, maybe I tried to put in Brian. I was trying to find Brian, and I probably clicked on your name by accident, just like a unconscious thing. Like, you know what? Who's trustworthy on the staff? And my brain was just like
Why would you sell
Olivia Basilega instead of Brian.
Aw. Yeah.
And now tonight he's gonna remove you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You don't have to do that. I'm not gonna post anything.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What if I'm the director one day?
I don't know about that one, Liv.
That's my goal.
Actually, there's a fly in here.
See,
The whole time, that's what I'm gonna be distracted on.
There.
Maybe I just saw it fly over there.
Focus on his.
Yeah, maybe
cool
focus
phone,
not on
not
the
his
fly.
phone case.
I'll try not to.
His
He's
phone
just
case
fly.
is-
Liv, how tired are you?
I don't know anymore.
I am so tired. I was literally like studying for my bio exam like all night last night.
Why? Biology's overrated.
Because I took my biology.
We just
exam,
talked about that
at,
the
like,
other
9
day.
in the morning.
How'd you get on it? What'd you get on it?
I don't even know. I
A
was confused with,
35.
like, all of it.
You took your finals?
Yeah, I took my last one today. So
Oh,
I
man.
came so late.
I was trying to hook my phone into this thing and hoping that this would connect directly to my phone and the audio would go through it, and then I could just record the whole entire podcast through my phone. But to no avail. It did not happen. It reverses. It goes through here, so it was annoying. It registered it as like headphones,
Oh.
so I couldn't do it. I still have to edit it, and I'll probably still get both videos out before Aaron gets his video done.
I have a question.
Oh,
Is
he's
this like an
been
actual
doing
like
that,
one of those
okay.
like Apple podcast type of things, or is this like a YouTube video that you just send out
So
to like?
this is just for parents to really get to know the staff and who's going to be dealing with their kids.
Okay.
So everybody will know your name, and you might become Facebook famous, but it could be for the wrong reason because
No.
you said something goofy
No, that's
or
Liv. She's the admin.
ridiculous.
She's
Yeah.
very famous.
So anyway, we started this podcast with the counselors, and Eli was in here, and Ethan was in here, and Julie was in here, and we were trying to figure out what the name of it was, and so Ethan shared, he said every time you name a podcast, like the first episode, they call it Pilot, so we could just call it Pilot, and I was like, Pilot? And then they were talking, and then they were going to call it Staffcast, and then Eli said, don't call it Staffcast, even if he's the one that suggested it, so I don't know. And then we came up with standing before Pilate, because I was saying, like, as Jesus stands in front of Pilate, Pilate wanted to know the answers, like, what are you about? What are you going to do? What is your goal in this world? And I thought it'd be kind of cool, like, I'm questioning the staff in front of the parents, so the parents can find out, like, who in the world are these staff and what are they trying to do? What are they going to change this, how are they going to change this world? And what is this, like, kingdom is here now thing that they're going to be talking about this summer? So this is officially standing before Pilate. This is the kitchen staff edition. And this is where I put you staff members on the spot to figure out what kingdom you serve, what you're all about, and how you plan to change this small little world that we call Camp PMBC this summer. You are the primary force that will be feeding the children and giving them the energy that they need to do the things that they're going to do. And I'm going to start with the most energetic of all. We're going to start with Hannah.
Yeah.
Before she falls asleep.
Before you start though, you have like something in your beard.
Where?
Like, just go like this in your beard.
It's ice cream or something, but they can't
No, I
see
see
it
what
because
you're
I'm at
talking
another
about.
angle.
We
That's
can
what
turn
like,
around
you
and look
turn
at
your
the
head,
camera.
Yeah. Or you turn your head.
Wait,
and
are we recording right now?
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Did you not hear him?
This is the
self-collection
kitchen
in there.
staff.
Yeah, well, no,
I
she,
heard
they
that.
thought I was practicing. So
Oh,
she
No,
Yeah.
I
knew.
know, like in us
Sorry.
intro,
Hey, we're
and
keeping
then
it-
you were gonna do like your intro thing.
Like a real intro.
We're keeping it real, guys.
Yeah. Believe me, I have stuff in my beard all the time. Mallory is always like, you got some like
I think he's
snot
saving
in
it
your
for
nose.
later.
No, I always get like snot stuck like right here. It's been bad.
Okay.
It's been bad this week. What about the smoke? Like I just,
We sit back on point.
Huh?
Yeah.
The focus.
it is part of the point. This is real life.
This might be the point or not the point.
Yeah.
I think this is not
So,
the point.
Yeah.
We were just talking about biology, which made me think of, snot. Anyway, you're here finally
Yeah.
at camp. You just arrived.
Yeah.
So I can't ask you anything about like what you got out of training week.
No.
I could ask you about the past weekend, but I'm gonna ask you like because your school made your life really difficult this summer and you couldn't get here for all of training. You took the like substitutionary training
Yeah.
on the weekends, and we're gonna have to do stuff on Saturday when everybody's having fun. It'll just be me and you like working and fixing things.
Yeah.
But what is one thing that you feel like you missed the most out of being at training week? Considering you were here last year for 1 week, right?
Mhm.
What do you feel like you missed out the most by not being here?
Definitely like meeting everyone, like seeing all these new faces when I like got here was like really overwhelming because like I didn't know anyone.
Exactly. And we tried to like combat that this year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which is why I was pushing everybody like to try to get here, and I don't know. We were trying to do this 7:15 moment kind of thing, and I feel bad that you weren't able to make it. But I am happy that you were able to like fit in the training on the weekends to get here,
Yeah.
because I know you were trying to do that,
Yeah.
and I was trying to get you to do that, but not everybody was like on board with that.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the hard part. We talked about it in the first podcast, too. Like, sometimes when you get to the age where, your parents are sending you to camp, they want you to hear the gospel, they want you to go to this Bible camp, they want you to, like, improve in your character or get better friends, right? You gotta distance yourself from these friends that aren't the best influence from you. And they have all these aspirations for you to be here. And you start by going because your parents sent you. Then you build actual friendships, you enjoy it here. Then you start to want to come to camp. And as long as you're the age to camp, they're like, yeah, sure. And then once you get to that point where you're moving on to like college and you're getting ready to start life and you decide, you know what? God has really moved me to serve at camp. Oftentimes parents will be like, well, I'm sorry, you have to get a real job. You have to start making money for college. And it seems backward, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What value, those of you that have worked previously or been on EAP previously, why do you want to work at camp, and why is it valuable for parents whose kids are campers now who might be staff members of the future to consider working at camp instead of rushing off to earn money elsewhere when they're old enough to make that decision to work here themselves? What would you say, Kate?
I would say that this would be a really good serving opportunity and preparing kids and young teens, young adults for, I guess you could say, quote unquote, the real world, because you're dealing with real people and you're learning so much. Number one, it's like a very good training opportunity for your minds. I don't even know how to explain it, but you're being equipped to teach the gospel, and you're learning life skills, like with the work boys are doing like all the yard work and stuff, and the girls cooking and cabin cleanup and childcare, counseling, right? And you're doing all the skits, the acting, the singing, worship, playing music for those who can and stuff. So.
Okay, I like that. What about you, Liv?
I agree with the like training you for the real world. I also like I have a job during the year back at home too, and working here definitely like sets you up for success in any other situation because you learn how to speak with people, deal with people that might be different from you because you learn how many different types of people there are. Whereas if you work a different job, you don't see every single side of that because here we have to do many different things. We meet new people every week, and here you grow so close to people in a short amount of time that you're really able to connect with them, and you're able to see a bunch of different personalities, which you're also able to see in the real world become more prominent in your life because you're not just seeing that one group of people. Being able to connect with so many people here also makes you have the want to connect with people at home.
Yeah, working retreats is like going on an international trip over the course of a couple months. I mean, we get groups from all different areas. I mean, we had groups from the Dominican recently. We had groups down from like Central America. Well, I can't think of it's not Santo Domingo. What culture makes pupusa? A lot of them do, but El Salvador.
Yeah.
So we have people from El Salvador. We had a group we have a Burmese group every year, and I love that when they make their own food and they bring it, and that's fun. The group from El Salvador asked me to make pupusa, so I was back there making pupusa, and then they're like, these are okay, but they're not right. So then they came back, and they're like, where's your maseca, whatever, and then they're making it, and they're showing me, and then all the kids came back from the group who don't usually make it, and so it turned into this big group thing, and it was really cool. I wouldn't, if I worked at McDonald's, that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen, and so you get to interact with these groups in that real way. If you were to work here, if you had a job to work here forever, what job would you work here forever?
I would say probably counselor. I've never been in that role, but I feel like it's gonna be stressful, but it would definitely be good to meet all the different types of people and get to spread the gospel with them and get to talk to them and connect with them and share with them experiences in your own life that may help them in their life.
I thought you were coming from my job. I thought you were going to say director.
Well, that's
you told me you wanted to be...
Oh, I do want to be the director, but...
Then you're like the counselor of counselors.
For me, I guess it could be like in the kitchen still, or or counseling.
Why do you think these parents' children should think about investing that as a long-term, hey, I'm going to work at camp. I'm going to work at camp through college because it's a benefit to me. How would it be a benefit to them?
For the workers or for the parents?
Just imagine both. Imagine the parents, their campers come junior week. They camp all the way through their life, and they say, I want to work at camp. Why should the parents say, you know what, it is worth it for them to stay at camp and work more so than for them to go out in the world? What reason?
Because I guess camp would prepare you biblically for the real world. You could, it prepares you to be out and be a light continuously throughout your adult years. It's shaping you. We're over here teaching. We're pouring into the lives. God's pouring into us so we can pour into them. And that could be beneficial for their future, and then the people that they interact with outside of camp. So it's kind of like a spillage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that I let you get away with just working without thinking about the spiritual aspect of the job?
No, definitely
No,
not.
no. Yeah.
What is like? What was the most? What was the hardest thing to cope with when you started working retreats? Like, oh, I didn't expect that.
I had a lot of questions. There's a lot of probing questions to like reach into the inside of like the person and get to like know who they are and like where they're at in their stance with God. And that wasn't something I was expecting. I was kind of expecting to be like, okay, you do this. This is where I'm gonna put you, and like kind of like leave it like that. But it's continuously like you're always asking questions. People are always asking questions and talking about Christ and talking about God and the way that they interact with people. It's like it's not on the back burner. It's like very upfront.
Okay. You are new, Shannon. This is your first attempt at getting involved, and you just came fresh out of camperhood.
6 years, and I've been waiting to work here for the past 3.
Why have you been so anxious to work at PMBC? What is it about the individuals like this who step up and they invest in you, and then our counselors and our co-counselors who you're familiar with? Why did they move you to have such a desire or aspiration to work?
Well, camp is like my second home. I came here since little, and it has been an impact on me because the counselors have been investing in my life outside of camp as well, because the information they give you at camp, even if it's for a short time as a week, you could hold on to until next summer where you just fill up your cup again. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm here.
And you make some connections that last outside of camp too.
Yeah.
You might find, hey, I suddenly go to church with one of my counselors, and that's a really neat thing, because it's not. Is it nice to see that the counselors aren't just here in the summer, they do the job, and then they turn off that part of their personality and go about a real job, but they actually live out that life like a counselor everywhere?
Yeah, as of last year, I'm going to a church with one of the counselors, and I've stayed connected with my a few of the counselors in the past, and outside, I've realized they are similar. They're not like you go to camp, you do this, you go home, you do something totally else. They are rooted in their faith, and they will give you useful information about how to deal with certain situations outside of camp as well.
Okay. Allie, I would try to pronounce your name, but I failed. Me and Debbie went back and forth trying. I was like, no, I don't think that's how you pronounce it. I think this is how you pronounce it. And I think every time we added another letter in there. So you eventually you became like Ali Laliana. So it was just
Alex, say your name.
Aleliana.
yeah.
Aliliana.
See, and there's an accent in there that I didn't know. So I was saying like Liana, and like I'm very American, right?
You
like,
can say like the American
wow.
way, Aleliana.
Right? Yeah, it's boring. Right? So you said, I want to be involved in camp. I'm going to step up. It's like I'm coming out of the city into the country, and I'm going to work the summer.
Yeah.
What drove you to do it, and how are you feeling about your decision so far after 1 week?
Okay, not even 1 week. I only been here for like 5 days around. I noticed I went to camp here last year, and I had like a great experience. And I know me and Sierra were talking, right? And I was asking her how she felt about working at camp, because I want to have a deeper relationship with God, because I noticed I'd fallen like a lot from like where He wanted me to be and where He was. And so I decided, a couple months ago, that I wanted to work here, because I like how even in that 1 week I was so connected that as soon as I got here, I didn't want to leave the presence that I had. And so I was like, okay. And then it came up in one of me and my sister's conversations. And I was like, you know what? I want to go see if I could work there. That way I have like a longer period to be connected to Him.
Yeah. And see, that's smart too. Like, I try to get people to understand, like, you're a camper, you love it here. When you start working here, you're basically camping for free every week.
Yeah.
And like I try to get parents to understand, like they're growing, they're learning things, they're here. It doesn't cost you money. You don't have to feed them for 6 or 7 weeks out of the summer. Like you don't even know how much. Maybe I shouldn't tell you. No, because then you're gonna ask me, hey, can I have my cut of what you saved on groceries? Let's go to Hannah, because I started with Hannah, and by the time we got around, she's already like halfway asleep here.
No.
Hannah, you are part of a sibling duo,
Yeah.
and your sibling's not here,
Mm-hmm.
and you are. You made an intentional decision to do something different than what somebody else in your family is doing. You said, I want to work at camp. What is it about camp that made you want to work, and why do you think campers of the future should consider maybe making that same decision?
I don't know. I feel like coming back to the thing that you said, where it's like basically camping for free, and it's like whenever I leave like the week program, like I just like find myself like falling off, and I so desperately like want to come back and like reconnect myself like to Christ and the people that I'm like surrounded with. So I feel like working is just like I'm constantly surrounded, like way more than I would be if I was a camper.
Okay.
Can I add something too?
No.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
kidding. I feel like there's almost like a different like atmosphere here. I don't even know how to explain it, but when you come here and the people who are serving, it's like you could see when you come here. It's like you can feel like Christ. You can feel like God. I don't even know how to explain it, but like the people who are working and serving here, they're not just doing it because they have to. Like it's joyful to do our jobs here. It's a joy to serve, and you can see other people enjoy their job, not just because they have to work and they hate working. I don't know. It's like a whole different
Well,
experience.
they're here because they want to be here. Because you have to be, otherwise,
Right.
like giving up 7 weeks out of your summer is,
Right, but,
is
like,
tough.
If you've ever been in like any other work environment, like people can be like grumbly or complaining.
Well, wait till week 3. I mean, let's give it a little time here. It does happen. We're gonna see it.
But I like how the campers and especially even the counselors they're passionate about what they believe in.
Yeah.
Especially the counselors and the co-counselors. And their devos, they really show that.
Yeah, seeing, especially if you're here week 1, right? Because week 1 is way different than this one. Like the amount of time and investment and training that they go through. How do you feel? And anybody can answer this, and everybody has to go through. But how does it feel to see the amount of effort that your counselors have been putting in to train and prepare mentally, physically, spiritually before you get here? Does it like open your eyes to like, wow, I appreciate what they're doing all the more, because I didn't realize that they just like showed up and we ran the program and hoped everything went well.
I know some of the girls brought stuff to like decorate their rooms, and they've been planning like their own devotionals for a while. So even before camp, they have been personally spending their own money and their time into how they want their room to look, being like comforting and warm, and putting time into having nice devotionals with good questions and actually pretty good passages, and the amount of time and thought that goes into the devotionals is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the idea of this podcast just because I don't think a lot of people see it. I don't like putting up photos of training week because we're trying to focus on training, and we're not trying to like put it out there. Plus, you don't want to reveal things to the campers so that they know what's coming up. Like, you can't take pictures of the games. You can't really talk about the stuff, and it's hard to get people excited about it. But I thought it was a good opportunity for, like, parents to see a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes and how the staff is thinking about it. I want you to think about, like, your greatest memory at camp ever, and share it as if, like, it just happened and you're really excited about it. I'll give you an opportunity to do that in a minute, but I want to turn to, since you're all in the kitchen or will be serving in the kitchen in some capacity at some point, like Hannah's going to step out and she's going to get a chance to go out and, build brand new stuff at the camp. and she's going to be putting up tents, and she's going to be like repairing things. Some of you will be out in childcare, right, taking care of my children and the children of the teachers and the cook and the nurses that are here and all the people who come with kids. Some of you will be stepping out into co-counselor roles. Some of you are going to be jumping into lifeguarding roles, and you're leaving tomorrow to lifeguard in a lake. Friday, it's not the 13th tomorrow, is it? Oh, that would be horrible.
This is
No,
16.
16.
Oh, good. That's
3 days
good.
off.
Oh, scary. You know, being awake on Friday the 13th, not a good idea. So you're all going to do various things, but let's like look at the kitchen. And Hannah, you've been in the kitchen before, even if you haven't trained, and you'll get to meet Evan a little bit, and you'll get to know him and his personality and whatever. And he was on the podcast already. What do you so far appreciate about Evan's personality, and what about him makes you think like you're going to have a good summer in the kitchen under his leadership?
Oh, I love
There may be reasons why you think you're not going to have a good summer. I don't want you to share those. I want you to share the reasons why you think you are going to have a good summer.
I love Evan. He sings like opera too in the kitchen, and he's like funny, and he makes like little like jokes. I don't even know how to explain it. He's really funny, and he gives us like a little pep talk almost before everyone comes through the line. Like if there's like, we had like, what's it, one sauce called zucchini? I don't know. There's something new.
It's
We
I
had
kept saying it wrong.
Tzatziki sauce.
tzatziki sauce.
tzatziki,
Yeah.
yeah.
We were like chanting that because we couldn't pronounce it, and he had us like, I don't even remember all the stuff, but he gives us like a really fun little chat that gets us all like pumped up and excited before people come through for us to serve.
Evan, he has a really great personality, and we all know I'm a very clumsy person. I spilled, I dropped stuff, like they could tell you I'm one of the worst people to put in the kitchen, but yet he had faith in me,
Yeah.
and I like that he's patient, that even when I do spill something, he's like, it's okay, we could clean this up, right? And
Yeah.
of course, to me, he was like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I just wasted a whole bunch of food. People are going to be mad at me. He was very patient, and he was honest with me. He's like, I know you spilled something. It's fine. We could clean this up. We could just refill it. You're good. And that's just really securing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good, because I would have handled that.
Yeah. You would have put me out.
Sorry about my pizza. Just don't mess with pizza. I burnt the one pizza. I was so annoyed. Everything else was pretty good.
You had burnt.
My
burnt
pizza
like
was
3.
Now,
No, those were like really well done.
Mine was
that's a
dry.
char on the outside ring.
I just
The
wish
bottom
mine had
wasn't burnt.
cheese on it. My taste is so bad.
Well, you should have put like herbs or something on it, like some
I
dry
did.
herbs.
I put garlic sauce, but he didn't have
Oh.
any parsley.
For background information, she has dairy allergies, so she can't have cheese on her pizza.
First of all, HIPAA.
Is that okay for me to share?
Yeah, I don't
You
care.
can't. You can't inversely get permission.
She just gave permission, y'all. She kind of
All right.
gave it away when she was talking about
Here,
it.
I want to share something with you, Allie, that you don't know. So we were looking at what we were going to do with the positions and who we're going to put where, and you had childcare down, and we were like, you know, I think she really wants to do childcare, so we want to try to put in childcare, so we went Evan. What do you think about us putting Allie in childcare? And he was like, I would prefer that she stay in the kitchen because she is a hard worker and is doing a good job. So apparently you are learning on a curve that is acceptable. So he has a lot of confidence in your, even if it's in just like your drive. So you have promise that he wants. So you'll definitely be back in the kitchen just to be there. And I think he thinks all of you are doing a good job. And he's new, so like you guys have been here. And it's comforting to know that he has people who have been in the kitchen and have been involved. And we told him that Hannah's coming, and Hannah has been in the kitchen, and Hannah has a desire to be in the kitchen when she's not getting her work boy projects on or taking naps. I do feel bad, Hannah. Like, are you excited to get back into the kitchen?
I mean, like, not particularly, but like I'll do it if I have to.
I thought you wanted kitchen.
Like I'll do it, but like I can't picture myself doing anything else like besides work, girl. So
Yeah.
like, I'm familiar with like doing stuff
Yeah.
in the kitchen, so like I'll like pop in because like.
Now, from what you heard, it's a little bit different than normal. Or are you like, yeah, this might be different and fun? Do you have an interest in singing opera at random?
I mean, if it comes to it, yeah.
What's your favorite opera?
None. Like, I don't know any. Like,
You should go in and just look up a bunch of different operas, right?
oh yeah, I
online.
gotta impress Evan.
And when
before I
Evan is
show
like,
up.
you'd be like, so Evan, what's your favorite opera? And he'll be like, well, I really like Phantom of the Opera and blah blah blah. And you'll be like, my favorite is this, and then just talk about it, and then he'll ask you a bunch of questions, and you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work right now. I can't really answer your questions. And just see what he does. I mean, that would be funny. He'll listen to this, so you can't really do it.
Oh.
He told me, he's like, I'm going to listen to what they say.
Yeah, we love you, Evan.
Yeah, hearts.
I have a lot of respect towards Evan because he takes his own personal time to set up the kitchen and clean up.
Yeah, he's in there a long time after you girls are.
Yeah, we have to drag him out sometime.
It's so true.
And it's important that you do that because
Yeah.
when you get into the kitchen, like, you do want it to run smoothly, you want the food to be good. And he's, like, we're using up stuff that we have for training week, but then he's got to make everything next week. And so he's, like, nervous. He wants to do it well, and when you want to do something well and it's new, it's hard. So, like, he's got a lot of pressure on him. So you girls paying attention and being focused and being on time is going to be, like, a huge impact to that. So I just know that he appreciates that. Let's talk about those stories, because I don't want to hold you too late, and I do want to bring another group in, because my goal is to get, like, all people in here for one podcast before Sunday night when the campers arrive. Can you believe the campers are arriving here in, like, I don't know how many. Yeah.
No, I can't believe
That's
it yet.
crazy.
And it's like, I can believe them. I'm
This is my first
Sweet.
summer, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm just
Same.
like, woo.
So, in the Old Testament, it says in the beginning, the world was formless and void, and the words it says is tohu wabohu. Okay, which is really funny, right? I just love that stuff.
Let's look this up.
But it's like it means formless and void, or like chaos, and so expect chaos. Expect chaos.
Chaos.
Like the best kind of chaos, if there is such a thing. But it's an adjustment. And thankfully we have a smaller number of kids this year. So we're not starting off with like
We have
80.
a larger number of staff this year.
Yeah, and it should be easier. Hannah, have you thought about what, like, your favorite story of camp is?
Like, as a camper?
Anywhere, any space, and any time, in any alternate universe. I don't care where it comes from, as long as it deals with PMBC in some way, shape, or form.
You know, I really liked, like, all of 2020. Like, it was, like, such an underrated year, and, like, I had a lot of fun. Like we, like, made, like, our whole team, like, vegan themed, and we would, like,
I
make fun
remember
of,
that.
Why don't we bring that back?
We made fun of
Yeah.
fun of Aoife because
I feel so bad. Like, I like, still regret it.
And those
It
names
was,
still
like, funny
dog
at
her
the time.
today.
Yeah, it was funny at the time, but, like,
And now it's like a repeat,
yeah.
because you got Jordan here, and Joel is here,
And
and Nate is
yeah,
here.
like they're all back. Like, they're, like, resurrected.
We already got a couple people.
Yeah.
We already got them. So,
as long as
so-
we don't have the tents outside again, that was horrible.
I don't know. Tents were kind of fun. Like,
Our tent kept breaking. We
yeah,
had
but you
water.
know, that's just like a house.
I'm just glad I
I'm
was the
a-
one in the tent.
You
When it
you guys
collapsed.
got the good tent. We got the bad tent.
I'm more of a glamper, so I don't do tents.
This is not that kind of tent. It's like
It's
a.
Pop up.
Yeah, they were fun. I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like and I don't know, it was a different way to serve. It seemed like meals got served a lot faster, and I think it was just like the whimsy of still having camp in 2020 when nobody thought it was going to happen. So whatever happened was like amazing. It was like the easiest year to like please people. So, but a lot changed. Like it was a weird year, right?
It was, but, like, in a good way.
You're like the only person who reflects fondly on 2020. I realized like 2020.
No, it was a good year.
I know
like,
that.
you should look
Camp-wise,
past,
yeah.
like, the bad stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it was a good year, like, deep down.
It was funny.
Exactly, like,
I
it was,
liked
it was,
it,
like, out there.
The
It's like an
fact we had
outlier.
a quarantine was a little funny in my opinions, and the skits were also funny because we added some jokes into it about COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. 2020 was weird. Anybody else have stories they want to share? Go ahead.
So, like, here, like I said before, it's really easy to connect with people. And I remember when I was younger, it was like a long time ago when the counselors used to have porch time. Me and my cabin, we used to do fashion shows every night. A girl would walk in the bathroom, and then we'd all take our flashlights and like give her like a spotlight as she walked in between the bunk beds, like as a runway. And then a counselor who wasn't our counselor would like pop their head and be like, "Girls, be quiet," and we'd all like run to our beds. Like we had like someone on watch, and then we had like the rest of us giving the person in the middle the spotlight. And I like remember that week so much because it was just like so much fun, and it really made an impact on me as a kid. Cause like, it was like, wow, I'm able to have fun with a bunch of people I just met. Like, imagine if I just tried to connect more with people around me at my home, like, if I would be able to
Yeah,
be better friends with them, I guess.
that's true. Yeah. God, girls' cabins are so different than guys' cabins.
It's so
Honestly,
true.
The stories the boys tell is very
Crazy.
yeah. than
Yeah,
the
I know
girls.
the kids.
Yeah,
They
we
can
have
get chaotic, and parents, don't be surprised about crazy stories when your kids get home. I mean, it's part of camp. However, that's the reason why we have finally like dedicated co-counselors who will be in the cabin with the counselor, not doing any other jobs and not floating anywhere else. Even the guys' cabins. So like. Yeah, and then cabin aids on top of that, so like three eyes on a group at a time is just super nice. So unfortunately, I think all the runway shows will be canceled in the cabin. Sorry.
You still don't drink. Wait, we're still having cabin counselor time, right?
Yes,
Oh.
you could use them just under the watch of a counselor instead of having to hide and sneak around in.
Yeah, my hiding
Yeah.
spot was a laundry basket.
Shannon, you were gonna share a story?
No,
No,
I have one.
go ahead.
So winter camp this year was my first time being a co-counselor, like for the whole week,
Yeah.
instead of being in the kitchen. And it was new, and it made me like have a different perspective on camp. Because normally I like to be in the background, but when I was co-counseling, I was like kind of in the foreground a little bit, and that like opened up a way for me to connect with the campers that I would normally do if I was in the kitchen. Like I
Yeah.
actually had conversations with some of the girls in my cabin and with some of the kids on my team, and it was like, I guess I'd say it was encouraging on my end, and I'm hoping that I was an encouragement to other people as well during that time.
Yeah. So those of you that are interested in co-counseling, some of us don't understand that because we would never step into a counselor role. It's just not our gifting or a desire that we have. Like sometimes you don't want to be a fly on the wall or even a fly on the staff, like in a cabin, because it's just terrible. to like, it's just not your forte, right? And so you're better elsewhere. But those of you that want to be a counselor or co-counselor, how can you use that experience in the cabin interacting with the kids when you do end up back in the kitchen or you do end up in an area serving that is not in your optimal area? How do you transfer that connection with the kids into a different job? So like, how do you plan to connect with the kids through your job? Let's pretend it's in the kitchen or it's in lifeguarding, which is different than counseling. How do you plan to connect with the kids through where you're going to be serving?
Well, just like, I guess if I'm in the kitchen, I do have that free time. During the free time, I could be going to team comps or going to the worship, like Bible classes with them, and then learning with them, and then we can have the discussions afterwards.
Okay. Okay. Now you've been in the kitchen, you do get to have conversation with kids in the line when they come through, and you can ask them weird questions and you can make them do silly things, but like, how are you going to carry over interacting with the kids when you're on work duty in the way that suits you? How do you plan on interacting with the kids in the way that suits your character and your personality?
Definitely like playing the games with them like in my off time. Like I like doing team comp with the kids. And,
Yeah.
like, getting them all hyped up and stuff like that.
Okay. Awesome. how do you plan to get involved with the kids? Let's say your childcare. I mean, how are you going to interact with the campers and make a connection with them?
I mean, with, like, for me personally, it depends on the child, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get to know the child and how they act around me before I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is, like, how it relates to Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
I want to see their personal views, and I want to see, like, you know, kind of like how their parents, you know, reflect on them
Right.
before I, you know, just start acting.
Sounds a lot like a relationship. You want to build a relationship before you try to like invest in a relationship. That's cool. Do you have any words of wisdom for parents in terms of what to expect or what not to expect at camp?
I mean, I've never lost a child before, so child, because I've never had the opportunity to. But we're gonna talk about that. I'm just kidding. I have 4 siblings, and I've done like a daycare thing for like a church for a while. So, but you can expect your kids to have an awesome week. That's
Amen.
and eat amazing food from all us kitchen staff. So.
Okay.
Definitely don't be worried about their, like, oh my gosh, are they still alive? I promise. We will call you if something goes wrong, which hopefully you won't, but like,
Oh, that's right. You're right by the phone in the kitchen.
Oh yes. But I feel like parents always worry, like, what if my kid doesn't have fun? I know me personally, I tend to seek out the people that maybe look like they aren't having fun, or they look like they're not like fully there, like they don't want to participate in something, or they don't feel good or something. I tend to try and like sit out with them, talk to them, like get to know them, maybe make them feel more comfortable. Like there's always people, if your kid isn't comfortable with something, there's always somebody who's going to be there to just talk to them and like comfort them and maybe get them out of their shell a little bit, so they'll be happier when they come back home. They'll be more excited about certain things that they might not have had like their head wrapped around, I guess.
Right.
They would get a different perspective.
Okay.
I would say like they will definitely learn something. It might not be maybe directly in a Bible class, but maybe through like a staff member, they will learn a little bit maybe about that staff and what they've gone through, and a little bit of their testimony, and that can be an encouragement to the kid. They can be like learning anything, like how to talk more, or how to be more outgoing, or how to be more reserved, and like, let the other people step up. And
yeah.
So they're always gonna learn something.
Okay. Yeah, that's valuable. Nothing? You don't got nothing?
Well, there are some good parts to camp. There are a lot of good and healthy parts to camp. And for parents, I would not expect your kid to come home upset. There are problems, but the problems are usually resolved, and they're
So you're saying don't expect the perfect experience.
Don't expect the perfect experience, because in the past they do have little complications between either a camper and their friend. They might come home complaining, but just know we are trying.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things about camp is like, it is a real place. It's not artificial. It's not fake. You're not always happy. Not everybody's always kind, and you have to work through these real life interpersonal things at camp. And you either, if you want to make it through the week and be happy, you have to learn how to deal with them and resolve them. And if you don't learn how to deal with and resolve them, you're not going to have a good time. But like when you do learn to resolve them, it makes your life a lot more consistent, and it makes your interpersonal skills a lot better to interact in other areas.
It's not only like a good like life experience for the workers, but like the kids as well, because they're gonna be sharing like space with other kids for a week, and they're gonna be constantly interacting with other kids.
Did you and Gracie eat something today? Like, did you eat something strange or weird, or like something that other people didn't eat? Like you.
I mean, for everyone who doesn't know, I have a gluten and dairy sensitivity. I ate something.
No, she
I
means
ate
like
something-
sugar-wise. He means
Oh,
sugar-wise. Like, because you're very hyperactive.
Am I really? I thought it was pretty calm because I feel really tired right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you look like you're about to fall asleep.
Really?
I yawned multiple times. Wait, do you mean that I'm acting like more calm than normal or like more
No,
crazy?
you're-
You're a little bit
I
chatty.
think he's mentioning,
Remember how Gracie raised her hand like 6 times
Yes.
during the devotions?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. But I wasn't there. I had to work in the kitchen.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. I have your
I
excuse
was
for that.
doing my
I
job.
take back all that laughter. We're not. You're right. You're just so right. Allie,
I'm sorry, I forgot the question. Sorry.
what would you want like parents to know about camp if you were to give them like a word of wisdom? Something that camp is or something that camp isn't?
Camp is definitely fun. Camp is definitely a lot, but it's still it's not like all put together, but it's usually improvised, which is a lot more fun than having everything scheduled.
Yeah.
And something not to expect here is, like everybody else said, like to have like a perfect experience.
Right.
And something not to expect is like also not to expect like children aren't going to be happy after they camp and not to be saved, because I know I know in the past there's lots of kids who've been saved,
Yeah.
and I am one of them from
Right.
this camp, so I could say that.
Okay. Cool. Hannah, before you finally nod off and we turn the lights off and lock the door and you're in here in the morning, Evan comes in singing opera.
I think that parents shouldn't like undermine what their kids will learn here, because like they could learn something in like the short week that they are here that could like stick with them for the rest of their lives and like be like really influential to them.
Yeah, and it might be something that is challenging to the parents, that doesn't line up with the way that they've been thinking, but could still have validity. And so you're saying like invest in what the kids come home with and like live life with them in that moment and like be excited about what they're excited. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Do you have an example of that? It sounds like you have an example of that.
I mean, like, not like particularly, but like, yeah, like I can't really think of anything.
No, it looked like you had something on your
I
mind.
mean, like
that you were...
maybe, but like the spark's like dead. Like I'm like tired.
I know, it's like you flew from across the world to get here and you have jet
I
lag.
did. It's a 2-hour drive. That's like a lot.
You don't get jet lag from 2-hour drives.
Well, I do. I don't
Well, you
know.
took a biology, right?
Yeah.
It was a final?
Yeah.
Do you like biology class or is it like miserable?
It's like alright. Like the teacher's fun, but I just don't like the class.
And it was your last one.
Yeah, it's my last.
And you're anxious to be done and get to
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
And now you're here in all your sleepy glory,
Yeah.
ready for bed.
Yeah.
You're just gonna say yeah to everything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm content with that. I think everybody else is tired except for Kate, who's
Yeah,
yeah.
I had ice cream like an hour ago. I got that sugar in my blood.
That's what it's from. All that chocolate syrup you put on there.
Yeah, because they ran out of chocolate ice
You
cream.
can't talk about eating extra sugar on the podcast. Your mom's gonna find out.
Cut it out then. You can cut it out.
Oh, you're totally right.
No,
Mom.
we gotta keep that in there. Keep that. Don't edit that one out.
Yeah, just don't
I
send
don't
it
think
to
we're
our
editing
parents.
anything out, really. Wait, are we?
Surprise! It was sugar-free ice cream.
Oh,
Woo! Yeah.
The silence after that.
What's that?
I said the silence after
I
that.
know, right? I don't know. Yeah, she's gonna hear it. What are we gonna do then?
Yeah, I'm gonna
She's
send her
gonna write a
the-
letter about how there's red 40 dye in it. I don't know.
She made a
The
whole
ice cream wasn't
presentation.
I'm
organic.
gonna cut this part out.
It wasn't organic ice cream.
Can't have this in here. Oh my
No,
God.
she's gonna have like the.
We gotta redo it. All right, we gotta restart. We gotta restart.
No, okay.
Everybody get their
Wait,
serious face
no,
on.
but we're keeping it real.
Yeah, we
Yes,
are
we're
keeping it real.
Welcome back, kitchen staff.
Is that how I sound?
No.
You sound more like this. You're like, okay, guys.
Whoa, nasally.
Yes. Very nasally.
Well, I was talking about that problem that I was having earlier with those, like, you know.
Get nose spray.
I tried.
Easy.
Okay.
Get that nose rinse and then go
Guys,
go get
point
the nose
not the
spray.
point. This is not the point.
Hey, we're ending where we
One
started.
of
And
those
that's just
neti
kind of how.
pots that you like.
I can't do those. They make me choke.
Like, because you're not using them right.
Now, I'm not pouring anything upside down through my
Hannah's
nose.
asleep.
Okay.
Okay.
For the sake of Hannah.
Not yet.
We had like
She's
carry
gonna go to
Hannah
her room.
out.
She's gonna eat candy. She's gonna get all wired, and she's like, I didn't get to sleep till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
All right, go to bed. Go to bed.
Good night.
Okay.
Is that actually the end of it though?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Your great sign off was literally like your confession of
Your sugar.
yeah.
Eating dairy when I can't eat dairy.
Bro, welcome to my world. Dairy free because I'm allergic to cows.
I hope you girls enjoy your night if you're in Kate's cabin.
Sorry.
That's me.
That's not
Come
fair.
with me to get
Yeah,
my,
I feel bad.
my,
You take
my,
your sister
my
to
bedding.
please.
Okay.
Wow, that was 50 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
really?
long. Well, there's 6 people. I mean,
It's 11:08. We were supposed to be in bed at 10.
It is 30.
yeah,
Oh,
go. Bye.
yeah,
I'm gonna get in
okay.
trouble. Mallory's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
mad at me.
Hasta
Can we sleep in
luego.
tomorrow?
Buenas noches.
For what?
For our test tomorrow, life learning test. I think we should.
We need rest.
Well, because you're leaving. Sure.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what
We're
time?
leaving in the afternoon. Is it so far? I don't want to like lie just because
No,
he
we
thinks
are
we're
leaving in the afternoon. But like,
Yeah, we wouldn't want to be less than 100% certain about what we're doing.
Okay.
You did? You're excited?
I don't know. See how you feel in the morning. But is Evan expecting you up there?
I have no idea.
I don't.
Night, Mom.
Good night.
Because I don't even think I was supposed to be in the kitchen this week. But I think Debbie had me in there to help Evan.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and we needed to get it clean and we had to do a lot of stuff. What is breakfast tomorrow?